Obviously, on Monday, we had the Navy Yard shooting, 12 victims. The shooter is also dead. And then there was also 8 wounded. When I say victims, of course, 12 people have passed away. One of them is victim Kathy Gaarde. She was 62. She was nearing retirement. And her family, of course, has been contacted by a lot of the media to get a statement. And Chris Gaarde is her son. And he reached out to us saying that I'd rather give the statement to you guys because he's a viewer of the Young Turks and trusts us to do it right. And Chris, we really, really appreciate that. And God, do we feel bad for your loss. And this is exactly what we've been trying to prevent for so long. I know different people have different ideas on how to prevent it. And obviously our idea on that is very clear. And we wish that something could have been done, obviously, before this shooting. Now, Chris writes in, he says, although words cannot adequately describe the loss that I feel, I take solace in knowing that the memory of my mother will live on in the hearts of my friends, family, and others who were fortunate enough to know her personally. As a mother, she was compassionate, generous, and understanding. And as a role model, she taught me that the quality of character is not a measure that can be found within the bounds of race or religion, but rather than that true character can be seen in those who do what is right, regardless of the consequences. Let me pause there for a second to say, you know, man, I love your mom for what she taught you. And that's exactly right. And those are the principles we try to fight for all the time. So her loss is now felt by us as well, Chris. And obviously, this is very painful. And then finally, he adds this, which is, I think, very important. He says, as I try to come to terms with the last 24 hours, I cannot help but wonder if this tragedy will be a catalyst for change. Or if 6 months from now, I will feel the same aching emptiness as another horrific act of violence unfolds before me. And Chris, again, that's exactly what we've been wondering. And I don't know if you saw the show on Current and here online as well after the Newtown shootings and how incredibly upset we all were here at the Young Turks. And we keep saying over and over, when is it going to be enough? When is it going to be time for actual action? Some degree of our representatives representing us, 93% of American people want federal background checks. Now, it's not to politicize it. You know, people drive me crazy when they say things like that. It's not to drive towards another agenda, whether it's about energy or wars or education. It's not about a different topic. It's about this topic. And the reason we want people to do something, and unfortunately, the people who can do something are our politicians, our representatives, our so-called representatives, so that we can prevent future shootings. That's what we wanted after Newtown. Unfortunately, we haven't had it. By the FBI standards of mass shootings, there have been over 20 mass shootings under President Obama's watch. There's been 9 in the last 6 months. It goes on and on. Unfortunately, here, Kathy Gaarde was one of the victims. And every time I think about who's going to be next, it just sends a chill down my spine. Because obviously, unfortunately, we're not done with this yet. Because we haven't solved a damn thing. So on and on it's going to go. Unfortunately, this time around, it was the Gaarde family, as well as, of course, 20 other families that were affected. God knows who it's going to be next time. Can we please use some sensible precautions so that not everybody who wants a gun, whether they're crazy, whether they have a criminal background, whatever the case might be, can get a gun? For Christ's sake, right now, even people on the terrorist watch list can get a gun. Are there no bounds of reason? This is a real human being, and that's why I'm so glad Chris sent this message into us. His mom was real. She was 62 years old. They loved her. She's gone because we didn't do anything. How many more Kathy Gaardes are we going to lose?